hooked in the game.
Give me a break, need another life. Oh, need another life, life. Give me a break, need another life.
The Premier League is back of game 1 of 38, and Arsenal fans truly feel it is their year after coming so close in the last two. It all begins again here at the Emirates Stadium live as Arsenal take on Wolves next. It's welcome back to football for the channel after a 3-season hiatus. It's welcome back to football as a whole for the 2024-5 season. Welcome back to the Premier League. Welcome to the Emirates Stadium for week 1. One of the most passionate places in the world, I know. I've been there on my short hiatus for a while. With the unofficial message, you can't beat it. And, North London forever ringing around the stadium. The N5 is in full voice today. And with Arsenal being within 5 and 3 points respectively over the last 2 seasons, maybe, just maybe, this could be Arsenal's year in the Premier League after over 20 years now. Of course, the last time Arsenal won the league was in the unbeaten era. A very, very long time ago. The squad is very different. The culture is not. But the might of Manchester City still proves too strong for now. But, of course, in our coverage this season, we've already covered it. City lost the Community Shield. They'll say it's just a pre-season game. Let's take a look at the first Arsenal lineup of the season. David Raya has been promoted to number 1 now and starts in goal, obviously. Gwen White with Saliba, Gabriel and Andrei Shevchenko. The back four. Thomas Partey's in midfield with Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. It's Bukayo Saka. And I believe it's Martinelli. And I believe they are either side of Jesus. I didn't really catch that. That was really fast. I have to get used to the speed of these new lineups. All new for Gary O'Neill's Wolves. Gary O'Neill, I think, is making his managerial debut for Wolves today. It's Kai Havertz up top. Of course, Havertz is more of a makeshift striker than a pure one, which you would probably argue that Arsenal have been missing over the course of their 2 closest title challenging seasons so far. The goals have definitely been missing for them at crucial moments throughout last season in particular. A day where Arsenal needed goals, they couldn't come up with it. They've had to play, like I said, a makeshift one in Havertz. They've got obviously Andy Nketiah. The big target man is Gabriel Jesus. But over the course of 38 games, more often than not, you're going to not play 38 of them. And that's where Arsenal's troubles lie so far. So, one signing has already been made through the door for Arsenal in the form of Ricardo Calvari coming over. And there are strong rumours of Mikel Moreno going into the midfield, so that leaves up front, and there's been no word yet, but Mikel Arteta has been quoted saying, "Watch this space on that one." So what is his plan? I would say all-star striker is probably what they need, but realistically, I don't think there's a lot Arsenal could go for in the window in that regard. They probably have to go outside England to be that. The only one probably inside England right now would be obviously Newcastle's Alexander Isak. But I think it's fair to say that Newcastle will be very, very reluctant to get rid of him. But maybe the lure of a top 4 team, which Arsenal are at this point, maybe that could swing it. We'll have to watch this space. Larson gets in on an early shot. David Raya now number 1 at Arsenal. Aaron Ramsdale has made the bench, but he's into transfer speculation going out. Seems to be most likely either Brighton, Southampton, or maybe even Bournemouth. So he'll be going to the seaside no matter what, if it is one of those 3. Very strange that it's those 3 clubs specifically, given Aaron Ramsdale's pedigree. But he has fallen out of favour with David Raya. And David Raya was, of course, I believe, signed either last season or maybe even this one, permanently from Brentford, of course. And he's been really making a name for himself here in North London, and he's become quite the favourite. And I think the storyline that we're kind of doing here, or the story with him, is that now he is going to be number 1 at Arsenal for the foreseeable. As you just saw there, Newcastle United, we spoke of them a little bit earlier, and their main man Alexander Isak, well, he's not scored so far, but he has given Newcastle the lead. Joelinton actually has given Newcastle the lead, and here comes Bukayo Saka as he forces a corner of Bueno. Mikel Arteta. I, for one, even though I remain impartial, of course, this commentator does feel that Unai Emery was rather not really given all the time he probably could have needed, but in hindsight, it worked, didn't it? Unai Emery now at Aston Villa, of course, in hindsight, that does work, and it does work in hindsight for both sides, because Arsenal are now title challengers. Mikel Arteta won the first trophy he contested in that FA Cup final. For Unai Emery, respectively, he's now taken Aston Villa to the Champions League. So, in hindsight, it's worked out for both clubs in retrospect. Arsenal becoming near-end title challengers, and Villa climbing the ladder exponentially under Unai Emery at the moment. So, even though I feel Unai Emery wasn't really given full kind of time at Arsenal, it worked in his favour and Arsenal's too. We've got another score coming in. Nottingham Forest have given a 1-0 lead, and David Raya has already made a splendid double save, I think. It is a corner. Oh, and David Raya, from minute 15 in the first week, has already proven how much of a vital signing he is. I hope we get a replay of that, because that was absolutely breathtaking. As Wolves have this corner, and Bueno heads it over. Alright, so here we go. So Raya makes the good initial save, but it's the Peter Schmeichel cat reactions that he makes on the reactionary save. He gets up immediately, sees the striker coming out. Oh, and that is absolutely stunning. That is why David Raya is the number 1 here, for sure. Oh, what an absolutely stunning save. Double save by David Raya right from minute 1, proving just as valuable, really. And Arsenal will be really rejuvenated by that. And the Arsenal fans are definitely in full swing singing voice now. That put everyone out of their seats. Absolutely phenomenal stuff once again by David Raya. And now Arsenal are coming forward. Here's Saka. Probably going to be the main vocal point for Arsenal this season. Another thing Arsenal need to avoid is injuries. And here comes Bukayo Saka, already making a save out of Bentley, the Wolves goalkeeper, referred to Jose Sarr this afternoon by Gary O'Neill. Well, it may have looked a risky move on paper, but that is another stunning save. And the one, like we were saying earlier, the one thing Arsenal need to avoid is injuries. And definitely to the up-front department, with only Jesus and Eddie Nketiah as probably their only known strikers. Havertz can play there, but he's only been makeshift. Although it is working for Havertz, he's definitely making good on that big price tag he came over with. We've even got a song referencing that here now. Here's Saka. Arsenal definitely seem to get more into the game now. Totti has made a tackle there. And here's Doyle. I believe he came over from Brighton, perhaps. That'd be Kevin Doyle. That'd be Reading. That'd be a long time ago. Al Naturi's come forward. It's been a pretty even game so far, but David Raya has definitely kept Wolves out. And Saliba and Gabriel are going to be the centre point for the defence. I think Arsenal, in terms of defenders and even maybe midfielders, they could be one short, or that Moreno could be making that kind of jump forward, as we have an early foul here on Martin Odegaard, Captain Marvel. And I think it's going to be a yellow card for Belgrade. It is. But Arsenal are pretty set in defence for sure. The back four is almost probably one of the best defensively teams in the league, aside from Manchester City. The midfield is pretty much there. Moreno could really add a spark to that, but as we said at the top of the show, it's up top that Arsenal are maybe wearing a bit thin at the moment. And, well, it has been noted and it is being looked at. So, who is the target? Realistically, when you really think about it, if they were in the market for Alexander Isak, he would probably fit the bill wholeheartedly. He'd be pretty much an Arsenal player. But we'll have to see. But there is one transfer that was made. Luis Chavez has been signed from the free agent pool at Chelsea, as Mosquera starts to make his mark at Stamford Bridge. Not really in terms of spending at the moment. It's a good free kick here by Neto. Saliba puts it out for a corner. Pedro Neto, definitely the main one for Wolves this afternoon. I know it was a thankful that we had the lineups on the screen because they went way too fast for me to actually read. So it was rather unfortunate on that one. I have to get used to the speed. It's been a while for sure. And now here's Declan Rice hooving it clear. And it has to be said that Declan Rice certainly has been probably the main difference maker when it comes to Arsenal. And their rise to second in the Premier League table for 2 seasons in a row. Declan Rice was an integral part, certainly last season. But Bukayo Saka is star boy number 1 for sure. Havertz has found him, and he's got a lot of space. We've got a 1-1 between Forest and Bournemouth. And Saka forces a save out of the keeper. Half an hour, and I'd have to say that Arsenal slightly ahead. But both keepers have made absolutely splendid saves so far. And I believe we've lost the ball again. I'm going to have to wait till someone picks it up. I think Partey's going for it. A bit of a clash of players in the way there. A bit long time to get this throw-in in. And now we've got another one. Ben White immediately picking up the ball. Here's Partey. Partey has realised how much space he's got. He's not a winger though. And he lost the ball. Saka trying to tackle Doyle. Didn't succeed there. But he's got that one. Oh, Saka putting him out of his shoes. But Kokiko kept up. He's gone past Partey. Curry is cut out there by Saka, who seem content on staying down on the left wing at the moment. Their left, that is. By Doyle. Old-Nouri. And finally, the players stopped. And Wolves will feel a bit aggrieved by that. Wonderful move against Bukayo Saka. But Coutinho, unfortunately, is called for offside. And it's really unfortunate. And Arsenal really looking at set-piece threats with the recent signings of Gabriel and Saliba. And they're certainly being put to use on that one. It's definitely going to give them some goals if they need it from corner situations. But it's the overall goal count that Arsenal probably will be worrying about, considering last year. Goals when they needed them, as we said at the top of the show, pretty much their downfall. Oh, Nori did a brilliant turn there, and now here's Kokio. Larson. Tackled by Partey, picked up by Rice. Rice can't get it out to Martinelli up there. Oh God, Odegaard. And now here's Martinelli. Preferred to Leandro Trossard, unusually. And there has been small rumours of Leandro Trossard not being at all happy here. He says they're just rumours. I hope they are. Trossard is definitely a main man on this team. Arteta really doesn't have favourites. His whole team is his team. You have the players there who want to play every week, like Saka for sure, but doesn't have any outright favourites that he's picking for the sake of it's a favourite. Not here. Much like the great Arsene Wenger used to do as well. And how poetic would it be, given how close they've come, how poetic it would be for Mikel Arteta to become the first Arsenal manager since Arsene Wenger to win the Premier League. I really hope it's first time's the charm and written in the stars. For him personally, I think he's one man who's worked miracles here. Arsenal were a bit down in the doldrums under Unai Emery towards the end of his time. Arteta really did steer the ship. 3 minutes of added on time. It's been a pretty even first half, to be fair. Both goalkeepers have made absolutely stunning saves, and I think 0-0 is a very fair scoreline looking at that. Arsenal maybe just a little bit ahead, but they have been a bit sloppy with the ball late in this first half. They've not really had a foothold in the game as such. Netta. He's gone past Odegaard. Now here's Larson. Kikio. Larson with a shot. Bit audacious, to be honest. Larson. I think he's one of the main men up top for Wolves today. And I think he kind of bit off maybe a bit more than he could chew with that shot, unfortunately for him. And that ends a truly breathtaking first half, where both goalkeepers made some stunning saves, in particular David Raya, once again the reason when Arsenal are right in with a shout. Wolves giving them a game though. Arsenal 0, Wolves 0 at the break. Welcome to the second half here at the Emirates Stadium for week 1 of the 2024-2025 Premier League season. Unfortunately, we don't have any goals to speak of so far in a 0-0 scoreline here between Arsenal and Wolves, but we've already had some stunning saves by both goalkeepers, particularly David Raya with a double save early on. And already Arsenal on the front foot for the kickoff, and Saka has scored. It's 1-0, and that's exactly how Mikel Arteta would have drew up. Explosive from Bukayo Saka. And Arsenal immediately on the front foot. Quick fire start, much like playing FIFA, isn't it? Look at this explosion of pace for Bukayo Saka. That's why he's such an integral part of the cut-in strategy that Arsenal have. And he proved why. It's the golden boy, star boy once again. Bukayo Saka makes it Arsenal 1, Wolves 0, right out of the gate for the second half. And Wolves would have been absolutely shell-shocked at that. Quick, emphatic explosion from Arsenal, and immediately getting a goal for their efforts. Now it's up to Wolves to try and get back into this. Arsenal were pretty slightly ahead in the first half, I would say. It was pretty even, aside from that. And the chances being even, I think Arsenal probably just made the better ones to a degree. Saka trying to cross that one in towards Martinelli. Totti got it away. And White to Saka. Now Havertz. And now Havertz is going to run to the box, but he ran out of support, and Saka was more behind him than ahead. And what an irony. We were talking about Unai Emery earlier. The next match for Arsenal is against Unai Emery at Villa Park to take on Aston Villa. Kai Havertz trying to hit it on the way down. And next for Wolves, I believe it's Manchester City, but I could be wrong. There's Partey and now Saka. Saka looking for trying to a gap to kind of explode into. Couldn't do it there. Well, that explosive first step from Bukayo Saka told all in that goal. This is well done by Neto. He's kept it. Now he's in the box. And Gabriel put it out for a corner. And Gary O'Neill's going to make his first substitution of the afternoon. Kahuna has come on for Tavares. Kahuna probably should have started the game. He's one of Wolves' main goal scorers. And it's called Kiko. It's a good punch out by David Raya. Again, commanding that penalty area. Now here's Zinchenko. I'm never going to hear the gold song the same way again. I think it was the first appearance to me in the unofficial Mrs. Maid here. And they started singing the gold song for Zinchenko. I'll never hear that the same again, I don't think. It was during my hiatus. As Tom Doyle's going to make way for Lamela. Some very quick substitutions being made by Gary O'Neill here. Only 12 minutes into the first half. Second half, rather. So David Raya being promoted to number 1, as we said at the top of the show, fuels speculation over the future of Aaron Ramsdale. Certainly a very capable keeper in his own right, and I think the last thing you want is 2 number 1 keepers. And Aaron Ramsdale certainly is that, so I think David Raya's emergence and the number 1 getting put on his shirt this season probably spells the end for Ramsdale, which is very unfortunate. A great servant to the club, for sure. But if I know Aaron Ramsdale, he's a top bloke. And I think he'll have nothing but praise and respect for David Raya and the job he's done. He's in the box, he's gone down. And the referee has pointed to the spot. And Wolves have a penalty here. And a lifeline. Now, can David Raya produce another fantastic save here? He's going to have to. Ben White, bit clumsy to be honest from Ben White, to be fair. Not really sure what that was about. Ben White probably could have done better there. I mean, it was a goal-scoring opportunity. But Wolves now wait with Brady Breakfast as Gary O'Neill, but I think we all know what could possibly happen here. Oh, he's got the right way. Neto has scored it. Oh, David Raya, very unfortunate there. Good penalty by Neto, considering that Raya went the right way. He put it over him. It's well taken indeed. Very well placed, to be fair. David Raya just couldn't get enough height in the jump. He did everything correct except reach it. But it's a great penalty by Neto, to be fair. And Wolves have drawn level. But it's not the end of the game via long chalk. We know Arsenal do have resiliency. Took it to the final day despite their kind of lack of goal-scoring pedigree, as it were. And no doubt, maybe, that'll be a talking point by the end of this game. It was Chelsea that Wolves have next, not Manchester City. I guess it was a bit far off there, but it is one of the big 4. Or the top 6, or whatever it is now. Because obviously the likes of Newcastle have thrown their hat into the ring when it comes to champion-elect and top 4 places. And Aston Villa being another one, of course, being in the Champions League this season. Neto with the cross. And Raya commands that one and gets the ball. Well, it'll be a clean sheet from open play, at least, for Raya, if he does keep it. Yeah, another good save there. Take nothing away from that initial double save in the first half. That was stunning. It's very much Peter Schmeichel-esque. And if that's a kind of preview with the rest of the season, Arsenal could probably keep a lot of clean sheets in that regard. And you saw Arteta there. Getting very animated down on the touchline. A very passionate man for sure, Mikel Arteta. Really fits the culture of Arsenal, especially over the last couple of seasons. Here comes Martinelli. He stopped running and let Bueno catch him, which was odd. He was feeling a bit of cramp in his leg, maybe. And a shot there from Larson, and it looks like There's going to be an Arsenal substitution. Alexander Shinchenko is making way for Yuri Timber. Huh. That's an interesting decision. Let's see if that pays off. Maybe a fresh set of legs will give a new perspective. Arteta can really do that very well. Inject freshness when he needs it. And the right freshness as well. I mean, Arsenal aren't exactly chasing the game. The Wolves did bring it level. For the most part, Arsenal have been on the front foot here. It's Neto with a good, great delivery, and Larsson's got there, and I think it was Totti just couldn't reach it. That really could have worked wonders for Wolves there. I guess he just couldn't reach it. And well, that was wonderfully played by Larsson off the free kick. But unfortunately, his teammate couldn't get to the ball. That was rather unfortunate. Wolves probably could have made a bit more out of that. We're at Stadium in full voice yet again. Here's Havertz. Martinelli with acres of space on the left-hand side. There left. It's Martinelli. It's 2-1. Arsenal take back the lead. What were Wolves doing? Martinelli had almost anywhere he could run at it, and they let him run. Bad defending from Wolves. Martinelli just given all the space and time in the world. It's awful defending from Wolves, to be fair. Martinelli, I think he almost probably got surprised himself that he had that much space to run into. Well, he's not one of the most prolific goal scorers, but he can give you a goal when you need it. I think he did that a couple of times last season. And he's given his Arsenal team this season back the lead. Arsenal 2, Wolves 1. And Wolves need to defend better after that display. Now here's Kahuna. Up on Wolves' right-hand side so far. And Neto! Too close to David Raya. Could have gone either way of him. Here's Yuri and Timber. Captain Marvel, Martin Odegaard has found Havertz, and now Martinelli. He's going to run again. This time he's met by someone, namely Totti. But a scramble for the ball, and Martinelli's come up with it here. He couldn't find Saka. Arsenal certainly in the ascendancy now. Belgrade. Standard Larsson. Here is Neto. Good touch. And he put it over. Either way of Raya, and he might have been struggling with it. There's Leandro Trossard. In conversation there with Mikel Arteta. No doubt he'll make an appearance. Maybe at some point in this match. A lot of team sheets that we read on social media always put Trossard on the team ahead of Martinelli. I think today they might be rethinking it a little bit. Martinelli, as we said earlier, gets the goals you need. And Arsenal definitely need more, as last season proved, to their detriment. Havertz is pretty covered. But he found a pocket of space. Did he get pulled down? No. Burnley made a good save. Thomas Partey makes it 3-1. And there is now daylight. And Arsenal, with 12 minutes left to play, seem to be in full control of this game. It's a good goal by Partey, to be fair. Maybe the keeper could have done better. Going through his legs. Well, we said Arsenal needed a front man. But they've certainly got the goals from unlikely places. Martinelli and Partey being two of them. And Mikel Arteta is immediately on reacting to what is happening in front of him. One thing is for sure, his team is winning. But here comes Neto for an immediate response. And Gabriel puts it out for a corner. And that's just one of many fantastic tackles he and Saliba are going to put in together this season. It's Leo Trossard who's coming on for Saka. His work is done. And that is a great move by Mikel Arteta with his team 2 goals ahead. Kahuna with the corner. Martinelli heads away. Bueno has found Murillo Jr. And he met, I think it was Odegaard with the block on that one. And Declan Rice has got dispossessed, and so did Gabriel, but David Raya gets there again. Another stunning performance by David Raya. He may not get the clean sheet, but he'll get a clean sheet kind of asterisk assist from open play, because he's kept all the open play shots out. David Raya just coming from very humble beginnings down at Brentford. And now he's an Arsenal fan favourite for sure. And another substitution in the offing for Mikel Arteta. Looks like it's going to be Gabriel Jesus for the final 6+ minutes. Of course, if we need to wait for a stoppage in play for that to happen. There's Belgrade. Could be that with Neto. Oh, another stunning save by David Raya. We're going to be saying that a lot this year, I think. Martin Odegaard's making way for Jesus. And his work is done too. His best players are being rested, Mikel Arteta. Their jobs are done. You just need to hold on to this lead for the 4 minutes. That's whatever stoppage time there is. It might be a bit, actually. Oh, Yuri and Timber got to that. But now, he's kind of got no real support around him for the moment. So he's shielding the ball and doing well. And he's found Jesus. And who was that was away? Is that Thomas Partey? But Jesus has found Martinelli instead. Belgrade has brought him down. And the Arsenal fans making their opinion known. I think, to be fair, Martinelli did not really have the ball in that instance. Declan Rice with the corner. And Fonori picking it up. Picked up by Timber again. Arsenal just in the ascendancy now. Here's Havertz. Doherty. 7 added minutes. I think the referee could add 10 and Arsenal would win here. They've really looked good in this second half. Here's Martinelli. And once again, Wolves just nowhere near it. Jesus urged to shoot. And Bentley makes another good save. He's not saved the important ones, but he's definitely made a name for himself this afternoon with a good first half, but Arsenal have just been too strong. I mean, Timber looks like he's in a bit of discomfort there. And that is certainly not what Arsenal need. They need to avoid injuries. They are quite paper thin at the moment, especially on the strikers' end of things. Here is Trossard. Just trying to knock Trossard off the ball when he resorts to fouling it, and Trossard has still got there. Couldn't end it with Jesus. Kai Havertz has picked it up. Good block by Gomez, to be fair. Arsenal just banging down the door now. 2 more minutes. Here is Partey. Jesus is brought down. And ball back for the free kick. He's going to go into the book. And another really needless challenge, to be fair. I think we've had a lot of them today. Arteta's not happy about something down there. But with the free kick. Junior heads out. Kahuna comes up with it. Can they get forward in the final 30 seconds? I don't think so. And here's Belgrade. And they do muster up a chance. There will be time for this corner. Gone half a minute over the 7 already. Well, for me, David Raya clearly winning man of the match. Just for keeping an asterisk clean sheet in open play. The only one he didn't save was the penalty, unfortunately. And for one last time, he grabs it for the day. Arsenal win on the pitch in this afternoon's first game of the season. Arsenal hopefully starting as they mean to go on. Grew into this game in the second half. David Raya was tremendous, and his outfield players did the rest. It is hopefully a convincing start to what could be a title-winning season for Arsenal. Their fans certainly hope so, and they've started right. Arsenal 3, Wolves 1. The 3 points go to the Emirates. Alright, so let's have a look at all the Week 1 results. A surprising one at Old Trafford, as Manchester United won by a goal to nil against Fulham. Goal scorer, the very unlikely source, Joshua Zirkzee, the new signing. Newly promoted Ipswich, of course, falling to Liverpool by 2 goals to nil. That was probably to be expected. Brighton 3, Everton 1 is a surprising scoreline. Newcastle winning against Southampton in the end by that goal to nil. Of course, we had our coverage today. Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth played each other to 1-1 draw. West Ham lost to Unai Emery's Aston Villa. Brentford beating Crystal Palace by 2 goals to 1. The big match of the weekend was Manchester City and Chelsea, and City took that, probably to be expected, by 2 goals to nil. Leicester and Spurs played each other to a 1-1 draw. So what's the bets on the table looking like this in May? Brighton with their superior goal difference by 1. Ahead at the top, ahead of Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Villa, Brentford, United, and Newcastle United, who all won today, of course. Leicester City, Nottingham Forest, and Spurs all shared the points. Crystal Palace and West Ham, Fulham, and I think the newly promoted clubs, including Southampton, yet to get off the ground, as is Chelsea in 17th there. But I don't think there's much to worry about, as of course it is only Week 1. The table is completed by Ipswich, Wolves and Everton at the bottom.